Hello all! In this lesson of how to create a chatbot, we will learn about basic messages. These are the bot messages that appear on your Get Started or as a greeting, default, and response to small talk that a user would do. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, there are 4 types of basic messages. First, Get Started, then Greeting Message, then Default Message, and Common User Questions. We will explain each one in detail. But first, let's try Get Started. The Get Started message or story or media block that you set up will appear as soon as a user clicks on Get Started onto your chatbot. For example, this is the message my user will see right after Get Started. You can choose any story to begin with your Get Started. This works best for promotions or any new launches, etc. Then comes media blocks. You can trigger a slider block right after Get Started with your latest collection or service guide or any other block you want. We will explain plugins in detail and how you can use them in story, basic message, and more. For now, I'm going to pick a story that needs to start the conversation from my chatbot. Click Save once done. And then head over to Test This. Okay, so I am going to click on Get Started to see if my story is being triggered or not. Excellent, story worked. Now, let's head back to try more basic message options. Next up is Greeting Message. This message appears on your Get Started window above the Get Started button. So I'm going to type a greeting message for my users. Let's say we have an extended variety of shoes available since it's a shoe store. Click Save once done, and let's try the chatbot to see if the changes have gone through or not. For this, I'm going to have to delete my old chat in order to see the Get Started window again. Let's see if my greeting message is showing up. Cool! This will show up on both website or Messenger chatbot. Okay, let's move forward with default messages. Default messages are the responses your bot sends when it fails to understand any query of the user, whether it's text, multimedia, or a file. Let's say I want to send this message as default. So what I'm going to do is type this message and hit save when I am done. I can also choose the type of user query this message should be sent as a response. Here I am selecting all because this is a common message. You can write a specific message for each of the user query types. Simple response is the one I have chosen. However, you can trigger a story as your default. Send a media block in which you can include multimedia to show the user how to get help from your customer service, or send plugins like Google Search so the user can find the answer it's looking for. But here I am choosing simple response. Since I have typed my default message, I need to save this so it appears under the default messages section down below. Once saved, I can choose to keep or remove the rest of the default messages, so I'm going to remove all and keep just the one I created. Now, it's time to put the bot to the test. Let's type any keyword or phrase that I haven't set up for my chatbot and see if it's sending the default message I just created or the one that usually appears as pre-built. Great, it worked. And it's time for the 4th and final basic message type, the common user question, or you may call it small talk from users. You can choose to set up common user questions as per your choice or not set them up at all. There are different categories in which we have predefined common user questions. For example, user asking about chatbot's name or age. You can choose to set up a funny response or a regular one. Totally depends on you. Courtesy messages from users are expressions which show satisfaction or dissatisfaction from the user, like great and thank you. Next thing is emotions, which includes ha 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 and wow. Then hello and goodbye includes, which is self-explanatory that it includes user messages saying hi, hello, and goodbye, etc. And similarly, there are other available common user question categories that you can choose to set up for your bot, like user expression in about the user, confirmation message like yes, no, cancel, etc. And lastly, some other questions that users might say like hold on, wait, etc. Anyway, let's move on with the ones we have set up. Select the toggle to enable common user question responses, and you can turn it off whenever you want. Clicking Save. And let's try our common user question in the test bot. So I'm going to type "you are annoying" from the agent section. Haha, it worked. Okay, let's try a few more to see how it looks. Who are you? How old are you? You can always go back and set up the rest of the common user messages to make sure your bot is even more fun to talk to. Set up multiple messages for each common user question, and the bot will respond with each one randomly, one at a time. And on that note, it's a wrap-up on basic messages. Hope you enjoyed the lesson, and if you did, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Until next time.